You're watching In the Heart of It All with Monica C. Guidry. Each week, from different locations around the city, I'll be interviewing people with stories that inspire, motivate, and encourage. Journey with me as we travel down roads of discovery, tapping into untapped wells of resources and opportunities. Every heart has a song, and every song has a story. On In the Heart of It All with Monica C. Guidry.
Welcome to In the Heart of It All with Monica C. Guidry. I am your host, Monica C. Guidry. And if you are able to breathe in and breathe out, well, that means you are alive. And that means you have purpose in the earth. And while you have purpose, you stay right there and watch today's show because it's all about women in business. And my guest today is Elizabeth Lessner, who is the president of the Columbus Food League and has multiple successful restaurants within the city. But before we get to her, please welcome to the Artist Spotlight, Barbra Fant.
See, somewhere veins are leaking and soil is settling inside empty souls, patiently waiting for seeds and a shower of blessings, y'all. And once upon a time, God called me to preach. And he said, yes, go teach, speaking through souls, feeling God's vibration, the penetration of grace through flesh until it reaches the core to where pits of soil rest. I closed my eyes one night, and tattooed inside my eyelids was a cracked pipe and an open casket. They tried to tell me that I chose poetry as an easy way out. But I didn't choose poetry. Poetry chose me. Barging through the doors of my dreams, bursting into letters created into ink, molding themselves into words that somehow roll off of my tongue and find themselves growing upright and blooming inside the pits of soil-filled souls. When Mom left, I thought I'd never be able to smile again. Daddy got sick, and I dreamed of never going home again. My brother, he never woke up, and my world spun again. I said, this ain't living. There's got to be another way. But God said, take my hand and walk out here on faith. See, death is just a portion of life. But we fear the sun. So many of them come face to face with death, looking straight in the eyes before it's through death that we understand how to live. We're not born to live depressed. We're born to pass tests, y'all. That's what life is about. Walking through the tunnel to paint white lights at the exit so someone else sees the way out. See, they told me that I chose poetry as an easy way out. If anything, I chose it as a way in, a telescope into midnight souls who need someone else to see the stars in them and let them know that God only burns holes in us so that we might be able to shine 7 shades brighter than the sun. See, in the end, I know I walk my own path to salvation. So I allow inspiration to shout to the top of my head like rain, peeling back my flesh and cracking open my veins that leak and bubble up into ink, to curl into words, to roll off of tongues into pits filled with soil. See, somewhere veins are leaking. And right here, right now, my vein is leaking for you.
In the Heart of It All has been brought to you in part by Store to Your Front Door.
How does Store to Your Front Door work? Does this look like you? We can help. Store to Your Front Door is a membership-based one-destination delivery service. With Store to Your Front Door, convenience has never been this easy. Once you're on the website, simply fill out where to pick up your desired order. Then the final destination's address. Click, submit, receive. We'll be timely, courteous, and friendly. Store to Your Front Door, bringing local favorites to your door. Store to Your Front Door isn't limited to just food orders. We also deliver pets, wine and spirits, dry cleaning, and groceries.
Let Badian add color and personality to your wear on the everyday runway. With a luxury style and versatility, this trend-setting brand is for the unique and fashion-conscious buyer. Visit BadianCollection.com to bring quality, hand-painted scarves to your wardrobe. Shining Stars Learning and Development Center is passionate about teaching young hearts and minds in academics and the Word of God. Affordable prices, safe and comfortable learning environments is just some of the reasons why we come highly recommended. Call today, 589-9902.
Wow, Barbra Fant, that was amazing. I remember when I first met you, and first of all, welcome to the Artist Spotlight. I'm so at a loss for words at how powerful that was that I don't know what to say. I'm baffled, but your gift is just, it speaks for itself. It's very profound. And can you just let everyone know how you got started?
Okay, well, I've always written poetry. I think when my mother passed, I was 15 years old, and I was an angry kid. I was an angry teenager. And I went from, punching in walls to picking up pens. That's really how it was. And I wrote out my pain. And I believe that the Lord began to speak back to me through my writing. I would write out prayers, and God would speak back to me. And I submitted to a few online magazines when I was in high school, and I said, when I come to Columbus and go to college, I'm going to get on stage. And I got on stage at the Brownstone in 2010, and I was one of the youngest poets there, and I haven't left since.
Wow. Where can we find your work?
Well, I have a book out on Penmanship Books out of New York City. It's called Paint Inside Out. That's Paint, Inside Out. So it's on Penmanship Books. You can go online and get the book. And you can also find me, and I can just send you things. And I have a CD that's out, and I'm getting ready to work on a few other projects. So I'm not pushing the old work as much.
Okay.
But
so what is your contact information for people to get in contact with you for work or for booking?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, but Gmail is the best way. So that's Barb, B-A-R-B, Fant, F-A-N-T, 127 at gmail.com.
Awesome. Wow. I really want you to come back at the end of the show, so stay put. And you guys at home, stay put. That was Barbra Fant. If you want to hear more, stay tuned to the end of the show, and you will hear her yet again, that powerful voice again. All right, in the heart of it all, I'll see you when we return.
Shining Stars Learning and Development Center is passionate about teaching young hearts and minds in academics and the Word of God. Affordable prices, safe and comfortable learning environments is just some of the reasons why we come highly recommended. Call today, 589-9902. The earlier part of the year, I had the wonderful opportunity to sit down with the beloved Elizabeth Lessner. It truly was girlfriend conversation. Elizabeth is the owner of multiple restaurants, namely Dirty Frank's. She's also the co-founder of the Columbus Food League. Enjoy this conversation.
We'll get a Netflix movie, put it in, start to watch it in 10 minutes, and I'm like...
Have you always been like that? Really? Even as a kid, you've just been go.
But it's also, that is relaxing because it's a mindless tour. Like, one of the things I love to do is cook, but I don't like to bake because why? Baking has a lot of exact measurements. I mean, I like baking fine, but like making a stew is fun because what do? You just throw everything in the pot. You're just like, okay, well, oh cool, I've got some peppers, chop. That to me is like really mindless and exciting. And our house is actually built, it's very open. We live in this small little cabin, but we have a kitchen, living room, dining room, and it's all like attached. So I can be in the kitchen doing something, and Harold can be watching television, and we can still talk, so it works out.
So are you like a spontaneous type?
I'm both. I mean, you have to have a list to a certain degree or you won't get your life done. But yeah, spontaneity is pretty huge, and thankfully my husband's that way too. So I can say something totally off the wall, like we should drive down to Marietta, Ohio today, and check out this new distillery that just opened. He's like, yeah, that's a great idea. But we also
cool to
we're
do.
fortunate that we have the ability to do that. I mean, not always time wise, but we do Sundays as our day because I wouldn't see him otherwise. Which you have to do, I think, and
Set aside time where it's just your day. You too.
yeah,
That's smart.
Yeah,
You need to get back to
you
that.
don't touch it. Yeah, don't. If somebody asks. And it could be, the President of the United States wanting to hang out with him. He's got to clear it through me.
Right.
And vice versa.
Right.
So,
Right. Speaking of the president,
Yes.
you were at the White House, right?
I was.
Tell me about that. Please. All I know is bowling. That's what I saw. And that was like the highlight of your trip.
That is so funny. We were invited. I serve on it's called the Small Business Council or something. It's part of... It's sort of a program under the president who they have regular engagement with small business owners.
Okay.
And it's cool.
Wow.
They allow us access, usually through like chats online with like some of the top decision makers and parts of the president's cabinet at different times. They'll say this week we're going to be tuning in with this, immigration person or, whomever it is, which is very exciting. And
So awesome.
we get just access to important people, and that's great. And they invited all of us, at different times to the White House in December. We were like part of the Midwest region, so all the people with us were from like Ohio, Pennsylvania, maybe Michigan, and they invited us to the White House, which was crazy. We got the invitation, and we were so busy, but Harold's like, well, how many times are we ever going to get invited? And I was like, after this one, never. But, so we went, and we had this wonderful briefing by several different department heads, including the guy who created the healthcare.gov site, which that poor guy, has been under a lot of fire, but he was really awesome. And so all these different people spoke with us. It was a group of about 40 of us, business leaders, and just these different sort of cabinet heads of our government listening to us. I mean, they sat there and asked questions. We went around the room and they took notes. I mean, it was amazing.
I was going to say, do you feel like they really listened to what
I think that they did. I think really more than anything, I do believe we were listened to. I don't know that anything, if it sparks anything, but I believe that we're being heard because this is an effort to get all these people into this room. Brandon, if you invite me to the White House, I'll probably come, like no matter what. But I did feel listened to, and it was an entire day.
Right.
It was kind of an interesting day too because that was the same day as Nelson Mandela's funeral.
Right.
So we leave the White House, which was crazy, and we go to like this bar somewhere in DC, just like a dive bar, and there's this giant, it was an Ethiopian restaurant and bar, like this giant television we were watching. So it felt very like intense and I don't know what the word is, but like you were just very aware of like how heavy and big the world is. So that was really cool. But when we were meeting and we had a break, we weren't really supposed to leave our group, but there was like this little cafeteria downstairs, and I knew that the Truman Bowling Alley was down that way, so I pretended I was going to go get a soda, and I grabbed Harold, and we go running down the stairs. We're like, oh my god, this is so bad, and it was awesome. And we get right to the bowling alley, and someone says, can I help you? Like, kind of like, and we were like, sure. Yeah, I'm sorry, we're just lost. And they're like, yeah, the bowling alley isn't open or something like that. And we were able to look in and shoot some pictures. They were actually cool. And then we joined the group. I was like, all right, we waited till like our last break to do this because we might get kicked out for. But I spoke to other White House people and they were shocked actually that we got that far. But I was like, what's the worst thing? We're trying to look at a bowling alley? Like, yeah, well, it was one of those things, like nobody said don't leave the group, but it was like super, like when you go through all these checkpoints to get into the White House, and you get in the White House, and it was seriously like every 50 feet, it was probably a volunteer, or like an intern, there'd be a person, just like, you're going to the small business meeting that way. Like they would just catch you. Like you go to the corner, there'd be somebody standing there, you go to this corner, somebody standing there, that way. Wow. Yeah, it was kind of fun.
That is...
I mean, understandably.
Oh, right.
Oh, you know what was cool? The coolest part of that is we were walking to get to the room past these, I guess they were like the State Department rooms of cities, like major countries. It would say South Korea, Africa, blah blah blah, and it was Mandela's funeral. So when you walked past the Africa door, we didn't understand this. There was this giant box. So the first time we walked by it, we didn't think anything of it. The second time we walked by it, was filled with cell phones. You weren't even allowed in this room, and I think those were all the people that were sort of manning and watching security for all of the, because all of our public officials, or I think that's where the president was that day. So that's right, the selfie shot. So I mean, that was kind of amazing to.
Wow. So bring me to this point, because you're at the White House with small business leaders, but before that, you went to Capital University and studied political science. How did you go from studying political science to owning almost 9 restaurants?
Isn't that a funny thing?
You tell me all about it. How'd that happen? How did that happen?
It's funny. I have been a lifer in the restaurant business. My very first job was a server in a restaurant, and then from fast food to fine dining, I pretty much worked everything.
Okay.
I loved working. I loved the industry. I loved the business. I loved everything about it, and I was very excited by it. So I would do that, and I was told my whole life that I had to get a real job. I had to go to college and get a real job. If I didn't do that, what would happen? I'd be stuck flipping burgers. I liked flipping burgers. It was pretty actually fun. But anyway, I started to go to school. The things that I cared about intensely were social justice issues, women's health issues, And so I naturally went towards political science. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I wanted to advocate for people that couldn't advocate for themselves, but I didn't know what that meant. I also knew that involved money and needing money. And I interned at various nonprofits and volunteered, and I realized just how much at the whim we are of political organizations, leadership, and money.
Right.
So I continued working in restaurants. I really loved it. It came time to make a decision. I was at Capitol to just really, really get serious about school, focus, finish up, go start to work in the field of stuff I care about. I had to quit my bar job, and I didn't want to. It was really hard. And an opportunity came up to buy the restaurant where Betty's was at 680 North High Street. And I had put the word out to various people that I was looking to maybe open a bar. And much to the chagrin of my advisor, I just, dropped out of school. And I thought, I'll try this. I'm 27. Worst case, I fail, and I go back to school. And I've never looked back.
That is amazing. It's crazy. Crazy. You say crazy. I say amazing. People who follow you say amazing.
Stay right there. We'll be right back right after this.
You said the word advocacy.
Does this look like you? We can help. Store to Your Front Door is a membership-based one-destination delivery service. With Store to Your Front Door, convenience has never been this easy. Once you're on the website, simply fill out where to pick up your desired order. Then the final destination's address. Click, submit, receive. We'll be timely, courteous, and friendly. Store to Your Front Door, bringing local favorites to your door. Store to Your Front Door isn't limited to just food orders. We also deliver pets, wine and spirits, dry cleaning, and groceries.
Welcome back to In the Heart of It All.
You said something. You said the word advocacy. And I follow a lot of what you do and what you post because I feel like you're an inspiration to me. You inspire me. And you inspire a lot of people. And so advocacy means a lot to you. And not only are you about women and some politics, but you also are very much into rescuing dogs and animal advocacy. So tell me about your connection with that.
Well, I'm a longtime environmentalist. I just care really a lot about sort of environmental policy, and so that I've always taken sort of an active role when I can and stuff relating to the environment, how we treat nature, animals. I'm also a big believer. One of my favorite quotes is from Gandhi. I believe that the measure of a society is really its greatness is measured by how we treat animals, how we treat also the lowest in our society. I think that it says a lot, and I think that poverty issues were important to me, but they're pretty intense to deal with. And I think that animal rescue became a way to sort of help, dog rescue in particular, animals that need help, and there was a return on that. There was this feeling of helping one dog each time. So I got really involved with a very largely marginalized dog, the pit bull breed, and just sort of working to sort of advocate for their image. They've suffered a lot of bad publicity and bad press at the hands of irresponsible people, irresponsible owners. So my goal is really to change the perception of these dogs and to work to just sort of better what we're doing as a city and as a county to just promote animal welfare. It's really important to me, but it's also extremely gratifying work. There's nothing better than getting a puppy, rescuing a puppy that was going to be euthanized, teaching it some manners, teaching it some basic stuff, and then watching it go get adopted by somebody, some kid. And, animals or pets to a lot of people are really life-changing.
Right.
I know for me, I suffer bouts of depression, and just having a dog to make me get out of the house. One of my favorite stories happened about a year ago. A man in Columbus found this dog it was February and it was freezing. It was very, very cold, sub-zero night. He found a dog shivering, emaciated, and it had been badly beaten. It was near death. He didn't know what to do. He was just a good Samaritan, and he put the dog in his car, and he shot a photo of it and had taken it to OSU vet clinic, and just said, I don't really know what to do. Can you guys help? And the picture sort of went viral, and all of us were, oh my gosh, this poor dog. And so the dog, they named it Nurja. I don't know why that name. And they posted pictures at OSU Hospital of the dogs. A very kind vet performed work, and this dog went from near death to thriving over the course of several months. And in that meantime, we used social media to get the word out about this dog and to send these pictures, and literally thousands and thousands of dollars poured in, not only from our community, but from all over the world, came into Ohio State to pay for her surgeries. Plus there was a fund that of the excess funds not used to help other dogs in her situation. So I think what was so cool about that is it was cold and miserable last February, and just to watch all of Columbus come together and help. When he first found this dog, you could see all these people on social media. Can you help her? Yes, I can help her. Can you, and the dog now lives in a home, and they just put her name is Izzy now. And I get to see posts from her new family who adopted her. She's got 2 siblings, dog siblings, and then she's got some human siblings as well. Wow. And that whole story just really points to how loving and great our community is. And when you put a face to some of the things that happen here, when good triumphs over bad, it's great. This dog had been involved, it had been beaten because it was part of dog fighting, and it was no longer useful to the person who was running that. So, so that's my favorite story.
That's a good story.
I know.
It's hard. I'm trying not to cry. Let's keep it together, Monica. One of the things when you were speaking, you're so captivating when you speak, and you just draw me in, and I'm sure people who listen to you, you draw them in, and you inspire them, and that word keeps coming up. Who inspires you?
Who inspires me? I'm really fortunate in that I'm very easily inspired, and I think that I'm often inspired by the moment. I don't think that it's a one person. I think that I'm always looking, and I always have been. I think part of my success is finding mentors and people doing the things that I want, and sort of learning, becoming sort of obsessed with them. My husband always kind of jokes, like, who are you stalking now? And it could be anywhere from somebody who's a celebrity or a public figure, but more often than not, I'm inspired by the people that are in my life who are doing really hard work and interesting things. You know, I happen to work with a lot of dog rescues, and I happen to work a lot with some women's poverty organizations. And the women that I work with who don't have names, big names, they're not known, those are the people that are really, they're the unsung people who get up every day and do a job, and they don't do it because somebody's going to write their name in the paper or thank them. It's because this is what they're doing good. So that's really where I draw the bulk of my inspiration. I do tell people that I'm close to really just to find inspiration, because it's all around us. All around. You know, there really is some truly remarkable people here in Columbus and really everywhere doing some really important work. So I just try to find that and focus in on it. Often the things that I'm focused on are the things that I care about at that moment.
So what would you say to people who are at home watching this that may want to start their own business or just get off the couch and do something, but they don't know how to get started? What would you say?
Well, I think it's taking that first step, and taking that first step means a lot to a lot of people. I know that when you start an exercise program, you know, whether you're gonna jog or whatever, you have to just start. And my favorite thing I always tell people to do is just make it known. Make your dream known. And I feel like that is pretty powerful. If you tell close, supportive people, not haters, what you want to do, you'll often find that people want to lift you up.
They do.
There's a big general, you know, I think that when I hear of a new idea, I get excited, and I'm like, oh, cool, I want you to do that, and how can that happen? If I don't know anything about it, I'm still excited. I don't have children. I'll never have children. But one of my good friends has started a diaper bank, and this is for parents who can't afford diapers.
Wonderful.
And it's just, I don't really understand, but they collect donations, and she was telling me all about her nonprofit. And I was so excited, you know, and I don't know anything about diapers, but I can imagine what it would be like to be a mother and, you know, having that one more thing on top of you that you have to look out for. So I couldn't wait to hear more about her nonprofit. And I've started to follow it and see what she's doing. And this has nothing to do with me, but I just think when people are doing awesome things in the community, filling needs, it's inspiring. And I feel that people want to reach out and sort of help lift you up. The right people. You have to trust and invest in the right relationships and people that truly have your best interest at heart.
So trust and invest in people. You said to just start, get up, just start somewhere. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good information.
Yeah. Well, and starting, you might realize, oh, this isn't what I want to do at all. And I think that's an important lesson to learn too. And a lot of people learn that. And if it's not failure, it's just, oh, not a good fit.
Wow. Thank you, Elizabeth, for sitting down and talking with me. Finally, we got this done. And I'm just honored that you are letting me speak with you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your friendship is one of my favorite things of 2014. Did we meet in 2014 or was that 2013?
I don't know. I don't remember. But we can wrap there. But oh my gosh, give me a hug. It's like I feel like I'm a new sister.
Oh, I love you so much. Yes, we're totally.
You guys don't move.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna get that.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this.
Does this look like you? We can help. Store to Your Front Door is a membership-based one-destination delivery service. With Store to Your Front Door, convenience has never been this easy. Once you're on the website, simply fill out where to pick up your desired order. Then the final destination's address. Click, submit, receive. We'll be timely, courteous, and friendly. Store to Your Front Door, bringing local favorites to your door. Store to Your Front Door isn't limited to just food orders. We also deliver pets, wine and spirits, dry cleaning, and groceries.
Let Badian add color and personality to your wear on the everyday runway. With a luxury style and versatility, this trend-setting brand is for the unique and fashion-conscious buyer. Visit BadianCollection.com to bring quality, hand-painted scarves to your wardrobe.
You. Yes, you. You have purpose in this earth. And whatever you desire to be, you can be. Because nothing is impossible. Think of that thing that you would be doing if money was not an option. That is your passion. Just remember that the next time you think about a goal that you have and you feel like, how am I going to achieve this? There is a way that you can achieve it. And the first thing is believing in yourself. Thank you for watching In the Heart of It All with Monica C. Guidry. Remember to live abundantly, laugh loud, and love everyone. But before we leave, take it away, Barbara.
We, these handfuls of honey, as we sit in his palm, when he closes his fist and pulls us back in, I pray he calls us beautiful. That we survived the backs of grenades, called ourselves shrapnel, y'all. This is how you pick yourself back up. Fold back into yourself as if origami kites were built into your shoulder blades and soar. Find the more that you are worth. Captured inside your glass prayer like an insect full of lightning, all of glow and disturbance. Let it disrupt you. If it feels too comfortable, it's too easy. It's about B. It's about B. It's about B. Like honey, like gold, like glow. There's a hive in my chest, opening like honey and Crayola. I'm wishing I could find the crown called joy, like gold. They want me to give up on this poetry life, y'all, but I don't know another way to pray. When I was 7, I wondered if I could do all things through Christ, then why couldn't I fly? Garage to ground looked too dark, but I glistened it with my skin. Grew it light like risk, like gold, like glow, like sky. Like every time you throw coins into wells, you take a chance that change might just change things. I hid in the back of classrooms, ran off stages, put my pain on pages until my sleep ran away from me. My dreams began biting at my kneecaps, y'all. This is all I know. When they tell me poetry's worthless, I'll tell them I don't know another way to pray. I sculpt questions into metaphor. Most nights I don't sleep. Nightmares stay awake beside me, keep birthing these dreams. Wake up tangled in trees, wondering why I can't scream. There's a jungle inside my chest. Wondered why I was bleeding inside the seams of my lids. See, I could see things that weren't built for my eyes. My mama, she called it faith, but I called it light. So I set myself on fire. Ran on a stage until my spirit taught me how to crave the fulfillment to what was inside of me. What is inside of me? I'm just a kid with a nightmare on the back of my neck seeping through my throat. See, if I only did what I thought I could do, I would never be doing what I'm doing. When he calls us back, I pray he calls us beautiful, that they see us electric chairs, fire and bones like Jeremiah. How we set this world aflame. It's about believing. It's about faith. Tasting what you cannot see. It's about B. It's about B. It's about B. Like honey, like gold, like glow, like sky. Be handfuls of honey. You already are. These handfuls of honey in his palm. All of sting. I couldn't always see it, y'all. But somehow God, he always saw it in me.
Yes, yes.
Oh man, thank you.